I am Tamara, and today I would like to welcome you to a three-part series. This is the first video of three where we are going to be tackling EDC pouches. What's an EDC pouch? Everyday carry. Did I learn that very recently? Yes. I have been doing a ton of research on different bags that men might like. Mainly because my boys have become older teenagers and they're just not as interested in my beautiful quilted pouches anymore. So I wanted to find something that I could make that they would still use. So version 1 is going to be an incredibly simple pouch. Actually, all three of these versions have no linings. All three do have zippers, so you will have to use zippers. This version is actually a really simple one. It just has a zipper on top, and it's an awesome little pouch, very simple to make. And version 2 is this one here, which I think is a ton of fun because you've got the zipper a little bit more in the front of the pouch. We're also going to be using different types of fabrics than what we're used to using on this channel. So once I show you version 3, I will jump on in to talking a little bit about fabrics before we jump into the tutorial itself. So that was version 2, and then this is version 3. And I must admit, I am showing you version 1 and version 2 so you can get comfortable working with the fabric so you can sew version 3. I am so proud of this pouch, and I'm actually really impressed with how simple it was to create once I got used to sewing with this type of fabric. For these three pouches, I went to the fabric store and I bought two different types of fabric. They were both found in the outdoor fabric section. This particular weight was really nice because you couldn't see through the fabric, but it was still quite light. It had a shinier backing and then a nicer front. Now this fabric I found harder to sew with. I'm hoping that by showing you these fabrics, you'll get a good idea of what types of fabrics you can work with. I don't recommend going with those extra heavy outdoor canvas fabrics. Those will become too bulky too quickly. So lightweight is your friend. However, I do want to show you the difference. This fabric became my favorite. It does get a tiny bit of fraying on the edge, but really barely anything at all. I really didn't have to worry about this fabric fraying. However, as much as I loved this fabric, it definitely works more as a lining fabric or if you need something super lightweight. And it did fray. So I'm realizing here, I sealed this edge with a lighter, so that edge is not going to fray. But the other edges definitely have a lot of fraying going on. So you do need to be careful what type of fabric you're going to choose, depending on what you want to deal with. I actually quite liked this fabric. It was lightweight enough, though, that I would recommend using a thinner needle. This fabric handled my all-purpose needle with no problems, and I used all-purpose thread for all of my projects as well. Oh, and I also used a normal sewing foot. I had a feeling that I might have to use one of those Teflon sewing foots, but I never pulled my Teflon sewing foot out. My normal sewing foot was just fine. Now, to get into the specifics of this tutorial's pouch, this is the most beginner of all three, and this one I used the thicker of those two fabrics. I also used pre-made zippers, so this is not using zipper tape. The next two tutorials will use zipper tape. And the finished measurements to this pouch in particular are 5.5 inches high by 8.5 inches wide. Now let's jump on in and get started. I am using an 8-inch zipper, and I've cut two panels 6 inches tall by 9.5 inches wide. I also have some grosgrain ribbon, which I have cut 2 inches wide. This particular ribbon has some reflectiveness to it, so I thought that looked cool. And then an option for sealing your edges would be to either use a lighter or a pair of pinking shears. And if you struggle with zippers, especially if you're working with slipperier fabric, then I do recommend using some double-sided tape. Take one of your panels and lay it right side face up. Then, if you are going to use double-sided tape, which I like to do when I'm working with slipperier fabrics, lay that along the top edge of your panel. Since my double-sided tape is a 1/4 inch wide, but I find that when I use my zipper foot, my seam is actually sewn less than a 1/4 inch, I like to stick the tape up past that top edge. That way I can make sure that it is not shown later on once the zipper is sewn. Then lay that zipper face down along that top edge. Close to the side where the zipper closes up, take that excess zipper tape that's sticking out past that edge and just fold it in a triangle towards the outer edge and clip that in place as well. Then you will take this to your sewing machine and you will sew with your zipper foot along that top edge, sewing that little folded triangle piece out of the way, and start and stop with a back stitch. And because I did stick my double-sided tape up past that top edge, I'm just going to trim away the excess of that tape now. Then flip your panel so you're looking at the inside or back side of that panel and fold the zipper tape down so that it is facing towards the panel. And then with your fingers, just put some pressure on there to finger crease it in place. You can put some clips on either end as well if you'd like. Then take it back to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch along that top edge, holding the zipper tape in place so it continues to lay towards that lining. Then we are going to do both of these steps over once again. So lay your other panel right side face up. Then if you want to do double-sided tape, you can add that once again. This time I'm going to try it without. Lay your zipper so it is right side face down along that top edge. Clip it in place, and once again, that one end where the zipper closes, take that corner and fold it in a triangle up towards that top edge and clip that in place as well. Take it to your sewing machine and starting and stopping with a back stitch, you are going to sew across that top edge. Now, if you're struggling to sew past that zipper head, make sure to stop before you get to the zipper head. Keep the needle in the down position. Lift your presser foot up. That way you can nicely pull away that zipper head before putting your zipper foot back down and finishing sewing your seam that way. I hope that you are enjoying this 3-part series. If you are, please give it that thumbs up because that will let YouTube know that this is a good video, and then YouTube will share it with others. And of course, if you like beginner sewing tutorials, hit that subscribe button. And please let me know in the comments down below which version of these 3 you are interested in sewing the most. Now let's keep on sewing. Now this side I did not use the double-sided tape, so there's none of that to trim away. However, I still want to trim away a little bit of the excess of that triangle fold that we did earlier. Then you will once again finger crease that seam so that it is facing towards the panel. Take it back to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch, starting and stopping with a back stitch along that seam, making sure that it holds that zipper tape down and towards that panel. Now it's time to add any loops or D-rings or lobster claw clasps that you want in this project. So for myself, I have this 1-inch reflective grosgrain ribbon, and it does need its ends sealed, which I will do in a second once I glue in. But until then, I'm just going to show you. I fold it right sides together, and I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch down from that top edge, and I will clip it in place. I'll do that for both sides. That way, when the pouch is finished, both of those loops will look like they are matched up, because they are. And if you're uncomfortable using a lighter to seal in your seams, that totally makes sense. You can also use pinking shears. Then take this back to your sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance along both of those edges just to hold the loops in place. And now it is time for the most important step in this entire process, and that is opening up your zipper halfway. Very, very, very important. Then you can lay your panels so that they are laying right sides together and clip around all of those edges. Take it back to your sewing machine and sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance along all 3 edges, starting and stopping with a back stitch. I like to start on the side where those little triangle folds are because I find that that side of my zipper folds flatter, and then I can go around and sew towards that bulkier section. And I find because I'm sewing towards the bulkier section, it's an easier seam to finish. And now it is time to reduce bulk from the seam and to make sure that our fabric doesn't continue to fray. So pinking shears are a great option for this, depending on the fabric that you're using. I find that my pinking shears don't like to cut through lots of thick layers. So where my grosgrain ribbon is, I'm actually just going to use a normal pair of scissors and trim away a little bit of that excess bulk. And because of the fabric and the grosgrain ribbon that I'm using, I can just seal in those edges with a lighter. And then it's time to turn your project right side out, gently with your fingers pushing out all 4 corners, and be proud of what you have created. And that is how you make a simple EDC zipper pouch. Now that of course was version 1. Version 2 is ready to go. It will be coming out next week. And of course I will have it linked in the description down below for you as well. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.